Excuse me. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is November 1st, 2012. This is CFRN. If you have not taken a trial with CFRN, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Take the free trial. In the free trial, you get everything you're going to see here, everything you do see here. You'll get an email that shows you how to download the platform, how to download the indicators, how to install indicators, and if you want to use my layout, then just send me an email at support@cfrn.net and I will send you my layout so you can have your charts looking exactly like mine. Results for the morning: crude oil plus 1 tick, gold plus 6 ticks, NASDAQ plus 7 ticks. We took an ES trade. We got a break even on that trade. It did advance 5 ticks, I think, from our entry before we had moved our stop up to break even. Actually, we moved our stop up to break even when we closed above the MA1, but it came back and stopped us out at break even. I'll go over all that in a minute. Just a reminder for everyone who's on the free trial, there's a partners meeting tonight. You do need to be a partner to get into the partners meeting. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you don't know what it takes to become a partner and you want to know what it takes to become a partner, send me an email at support@cfrn.net. All right. Because of the mixed up week, with a couple of days that the markets were closed, I did not send out all the partner information. I'm going to send it out today, but I wanted to have everybody get a couple of days in the live trading room, at least get a couple of days in the live trading room, to help you come to some sort of decision about what you want to do. That said, I am going to move on to the trades. All right. Here on the ES, let's just start right off with that. All right, we had this huge run up on the ES, and it started to level out right up here. You can see it's leveling at the moment. I drew this channel up here, this channel that you see right here, looking for opportunities when the channel was broken. Right in here, we had a failed breakout attempt of the channel. 80% of all attempts to break out of a channel do fail. All right, we had one right there. Unfortunately, there was no opportunity to buy because it didn't pull back far enough to the BBC and because we had double top in right there. All right, the next pullback to the BBC was right over here. We did buy here. We sat through a little bit of a drawdown, a couple of ticks, and then it started to advance in our favor. We moved our stop up to break even, and we're stopped out at break even. Over here, you can see we just barely have a higher swing right here, but nevertheless, we do have a higher swing. There was an opportunity to buy it right over here during the break. It's really consolidating and going sideways. What I would look for here is a close up above the MA1. All right, a close up above the MA1. It all looks pretty weak right here, but it is still moving, slowly grinding upward. All right. That was the ES. Now let me jump over here. Oh, for just FYI, everybody that went to that webinar yesterday that we did yesterday afternoon about the candlesticks, that will be available in the members area. Okay, we did record it, and the recording will be available in the members area. If you are not a CFRN partner, you can't get into the members area. You have to be an active CFRN partner to get into that members area. All right. Active CFRN partner being the key word there. If you are partners, inactive partners, and you want to become active partners, just send us an email and we'll send you the link to take care of that. There's the close above the MA1 on the ES that I said to look for. All right, now watch for it to get up here to the swing high at 1424. That's where it should go now without too much delay. All right, the NQ. We took a trade on the NQ this morning. It was pretty early on. What we were looking for, we had the bullish cross, the pull away from and back to the BBC, test to the BBC with an up close right here. All right, we took the long trade with the up close right there, and we had 7 ticks profit right in there. Okay, 7 ticks profit right in there. How come there's no 10? I don't know. I didn't get around to it, Frank. All right. Let's see. Canoe, just send an email to support@cfrn.net, okay? And we'll send everything off to you, okay? Just send support@cfrn.net and say partner info in the subject, and we'll send all the information you need. All right. Let's see. There was an opportunity right in here to get long. I did get long and took some profit right there. Then the price kept moving up and moving up and moving up. We didn't have any more divergent opportunities in here. It did pull back here and test the BBC. I guess right here you might have been able to get long on the up close right there. Okay, with an 8-tick stop, you would have made some profit on that. Just looking through everything right in here, there was no other opportunity until right over here at 10 o'clock to get long. I had highlighted that one in the live trading room. I'm looking for the divergence, the opportunity with the divergences. Here's the bullish cross. Here's the test of the BBC, but by the time it tested the BBC, the cycle was red and headed down, so I wouldn't have liked this trade here in the live trading room. All right. The one thing that you could have looked at, could have considered, is the pullbacks here to the blue area, right there on the yellow line. All right. That one right there, we put in a higher swing. We're coming off a higher swing. That should hold. Over here, we had a blue area that it didn't hit, but it did put in a higher swing. So we're coming off a higher swing to this one right here. All right, so you're anticipating that this is going to hold right there. More higher swings. This time it came down, put in another blue one, and it didn't put in the higher swing before it came down again. You're anticipating this is not going to hold now. Could have sold the close right there, close below there. All right, pull back up, tested the BBC in a down close, but the cycle was going up, so there's no trade in there. Went right through the yellow line here, and that was all during the break. This is all during the break here. And that's pretty much it on the NQ. So we ended up plus 7 ticks on the NQ. We're break even on the ES. Let's jump over here. I didn't take any trades on the YM. The YM acted a lot like the ES this morning, except that it had zones that were just a little bit nearer. Okay, so it had a problem around this zone all morning. You know, most of the morning anyway, for half of the morning session. But it had a big run up right here, all right, with no opportunity to enter, no pullback to the BBC or anything like that. It had a pullback down here to the BBC with a couple of dojis. Now, we went over this in the live trading room. We had a couple of dojis, and we were saying, you know, based partly on what was in that webinar that we had yesterday afternoon, the close after the dojis would indicate the direction, and right there it did. It went right down to the weekly trading zone after it closed down and bounced off the zone. Gave another doji right in here. Gave an up close, suggesting that eventually it was going to move up. And so far it's gone up a little bit, but it's sort of just sticking right to that weekly trading zone right here. All right, we didn't take any trades on the YM this morning. Gold. Let's look at gold. Gold got pretty choppy on us here for a while. I don't know if I even marked that last trade that I took. Yeah, I guess I did. Right in here. Let's see, on the gold. Open was right here at 9:30. Pulled up here with bearish divergence, tested the BBC and gave a down close. There was an opportunity right in there that I missed. In here, we didn't have any divergence down here. We are coming off a lower swing, so you would expect these red spots to hold right here. Okay. It dropped down off of there. It didn't actually hit them, so there was no entry, but it dropped down off of there. Came back up. Now right here we have a higher low right there. All right, so we're not coming off a lower low. It goes right through this red area right here. Pulled back over here. There was an opportunity right here where you could have gotten long, okay? Right in there, off the BBC with the bullish divergence. You guys are going to notice this is a 4-tick range chart. On all the 4-tick range charts, the trades are the same, okay? The trades are exactly the same on all the 4-tick range charts. So you're looking for the divergence on the up close after the test of the BBC. There was an opportunity to get long right in there. 720.9, it drew down all the way to 720.2 with an 8-tick stop. You would have stayed in that trade for, well, from 20.9 to 22.3 for 14 ticks profit. All right. After that, it drew down here. This, if you would have had your order on here, coming off just a little bit higher high, you would have had your order on here. You would have stopped out on that. All right. It dropped right through it, and Let's see. We didn't have any opportunity there. This is what I mean when I said it got pretty choppy in here. It started to go sideways for quite a while, and I took this trade right in here where it pulled through the BBC. Now the reason I took this trade is because it was a trade in two different ways. All right, I know it was choppy in here, but the reason I took the trade is because it was a trade off of the the blue area on the yellow line right there. And it was also a trade after we had a bullish cross, a test to the BBC, and an up close. We had bullish divergence. So I took that trade for two reasons right there. Okay, and I did take some profit on the trade right over here. Things turned around. We had a pullback here. It didn't actually hit the BBC, but it sold off. Again, over here, we didn't have divergence at the time. Over here, it did go one full bar. It was not coming off a lower swing. Over here, this was an opportunity to buy the blue area right here, coming off a higher swing. That moved up 2 or 3 bars. And let's see, over here we had bearish divergence, and we're getting into the end of the morning session, but we had bearish cross. Right in here we had bearish divergence, tested the BBC with a down close, and down it went. Coming off a lower low. It didn't make it all the way back up here. Coming off of that red area, it didn't put in a lower low, so you wouldn't have anticipated this is going to hold in here. And that's pretty much it up until now. That was the gold. All right. The Russell was pretty messy all morning. There was 1 or 2 trades that I tried to take on the Russell. I think I tried to take this one right over here, and it had advanced too far by the time I tried to get into it. There was another one right in here that had already advanced before I got into it. Let's see, let me just scroll back here. With all this in here and it not going down and putting in any lower lows, you wouldn't have anticipated it holding right there. Okay, it got up inside the weekly trading zone, bounced off the zone, came up into here. There was some bullish divergence down here after the test of the BBC and the up close, but the cycle sort of in the middle and headed down, so it wasn't as attractive as we like to see the trade. It wasn't an A-grade trade. This coming off a higher high, hit the blue area right here, and that was an opportunity to buy it, looking for this level right here for it to get back up to that level. You can see it got through that, came back down for another opportunity right in here, coming off a higher high. That did not put in a higher high, so you're not thinking anymore that the blue areas are going to hold until you get up above this level and continue the trend. All right, and that is pretty much the high right there. Now it's turned down. Start looking for some bearish divergence. We don't have it yet, but it's in a position to set up bearish divergence over here. Okay, so look for a pullback up to the BBC, tested that in a down close, and you would have bearish divergence if that were to happen. Okay, that is the Russell on the morning. Let's jump over here to crude oil. Now, crude inventories came out today, so the market's jumped all over the place for a little while. This is where we took our short this morning on the crude. It had a bearish cross, tested the BBC with a down close. I took short right here. Moved my stop up to +1 tick once we had gotten down here to the MA1. You can see after that it went up here, hit the red area on the yellow brick road, went down, put in a lower swing, went right through this after putting in a lower swing. It went right through this area right here. If you had put an order on there, you would have lost that one. All right, from there it turned around, went right through the BBC, down here. You could have bought that right there for the move up. Again, we had blue in here, put in a higher swing, blue in here, no higher swing, so you're not anticipating that this is going to hold right here. It did do 1 full bar from here, which would have put your stop at break even, but you're not anticipating this is going to hold. And then it got into some choppy period right in there. I don't think we had any opportunities right in there, did we? No, we didn't. No opportunities right in there. Over here, we're not really coming off a higher high to take this long trade right here. We're definitely not coming off a higher high to anticipate any of these holding. In here, we have a test of the BBC with an up close, but the cycle's starting to work its way down, so that's just not as attractive of a trade as when the cycle's all the way up and overbought. Okay. Over here, we have a higher swing. It pulled back down. Right here, you would have anticipated this holding. Okay, right in here. You would have anticipated that holding at least for 1 bar. 1 bar is return, at which point you would move your stop to break even. Now, it did not put in a higher swing. You're not anticipating this will hold. You could have sold the close down below this level right here, and this is one of the techniques that we've gone over in the past few weeks. It got choppy in here, but if you sold that right there, eventually it did go down. Right in here we had some bearish divergence in a couple of spots and tested the BBC. There's bearish divergence in there and bearish divergence right in here, with tests of the BBC and down closes in here and in here. All right, put in a lower swing, shot right through the BBC to the red area. The red area held, pushed it back down, put in a lower swing. It came up here and you would have anticipated this holding. It did give at least 1 bar's profit on the way down. It looks like it gave 2 bars profit on the way down. So your stop would have at least been at break even on that spot right over here. Okay, that is what you're looking for. And the rest of this all happened during the break. Okay. Now, let me just jump back over here because we had crude oil come out at 11 o'clock. So everything between right here at 11 and like stuff over here was pretty much untradeable. All right, the market just bounced around so much that there was nothing you could do. Whereas right now, you see, we don't have a higher swing right here. It's come down and bounced off of this. It's given 1 full bar, but I wouldn't anticipate this holding right here. Okay, that was the crude oil. Now I think I covered soybeans really quick in the live trading room this morning after the open. I had said I would sell a drop down below here. I would buy right here. If you look at where it was right here, it went up pretty hard off of where I said I would buy. And Dwayne had a tweet out last night. Well, he had a tweet out yesterday, right? Buy above 15.53, and that shot up all the way up to 71.5. That's a huge gain. All right. And I think he said to take profits last night when it was at 68 or something like that. Yeah, up 15 cents. I think he tweeted another tweet out there to take some profits on that. That is the soybeans. Now the euro. We'll just look at the euro really quickly here. We have a bullish cross test of the BBC right over here for a move up, and in the pre-market there was one right here off of the yellow line where it turned red right there, the red area on the yellow line, anticipating a move down. Okay, that is that. All right, that's everything, and we are done with all the markets, I think. All right, again. Partners meeting tonight. If you want to become a partner, send us an email at support@cfrn.net with partner info in it, and we will send you all the information you need to become a partner. Okay. If you haven't taken a free trial with us, take the free trial. Okay. Go to www.cfrn.net/apply. All right. Todd B. Oh, this to you, Todd B.R. I sent your response to your question last night. Hopefully you got that. All right. And Dwayne is just taking the charts from me. All right.
Were you done?
I'm going to wrap up the recording right here, unless you want to show something in the recording.
Well, you know what? If you're going to record it,
go ahead.
I'll throw this in. I just wanted to, there's 2 things I want to remind people of. If you were in the webinar yesterday afternoon, I put it into the chat room, but let me remind you here, and for partners that were not, and even free trialers who were not in that webinar yesterday afternoon, one of the beautiful things about the DT Pro platform, which we use, which you just saw Michael using, and as you watch my charts for the rest of this radio program today and every day, we use exclusively the DT Pro platform as provided by Daniels Trading. And every one of those 12 major candlestick signals that you were shown yesterday by Steve, you can tell DT Pro, I want you to alert me every time there's a harami or an abandoned baby or a bearish engulfing pattern or a bullish engulfing pattern. All 12 of the major signals and then some. You can tell DT Pro, I want this alert, this alert, this alert. it will alert you. It will paint the candle a different color so that it stands out. And as you're learning the major signals, what a great tool to have. Because sometimes you're asked questioning yourself, is this or is it that? It paints it on the screen. It tells you. So just one more reason that you should download today, right here, right now, the DT Pro platform. In fact, I'll be putting into the chat room momentarily the address that will allow you to get that platform downloaded and installed, and then you can begin seeing the 12 major signals as they unfold over the next week. It really is that simple. Bert will be more than happy to walk you through the process. Once you've downloaded the platform, you can call him toll-free 866-928-3310. Over here on the right-hand side of any page at CFRN, if you click on the red Opinions button, it will take you to the opinion page. Imagine that. We have a few members of our audience who have a desire to be bloggers, writers. Some of them are very talented writers, I might say. They all are, for that matter. And you know what? This is the beauty of having a community with different people and different personalities, is you get all kinds of perspectives. The last one, written by our buddy who is in Texas, I believe, Eric, his last article was 7 tips for first-time stock buyers. So for those of you that are in equities, you'll find that of interest. Ghost Rider, his last post was a Psalm of David. And Powderhorn, who's back from the big elk hunt, he wrote a very nice post that talked about some of the things he experienced as he was on this hunting trip out in the absolute middle of nowhere, Colorado. Beautiful country. There were some pictures in the previous post. But he got trapped in a bit of a snowstorm. It just kind of came up out of nowhere. And he had to be prepared. This is him in the snowstorm. How cool is that? Can you see it, Michael?
Yeah, that is cool.
Aren't you as taken with it as I am?
I am. Yeah, that is
My wife goes, is that an eagle? I go, no, it's a guy with gloves and a hailstorm. And she goes, oh, okay. I said, put on your glasses, please. She goes, oh, okay, you're right, it is.
It is.
Now
That
what he
is
does,
cool.
he had to think on his seat and figure out what he was going to do because, I mean, let's face it, being out in the wild, in the wilderness, in blizzard conditions, you can go pretty quick. So he had to think quick and do a little of this and that, and he was able to come out of there safely in one piece. But what he does so very well in this blog post is he translates the exposure that he had to the elements to exposure that we all experience in the markets. Panic. We've all felt it. He talks about everything that we should do, everything that we can do to limit our exposure to the risk side of the equation. Now, this is a great article. If you're a trader, thanks very much. And again, thanks to each and every one of our bloggers. And if you, whoever you are, I said thanks to all of our bloggers. If you have a desire to blog, to write, to share your opinion, it can be about the markets, it can be about politics, it can be about your faith, it can be about how much I get on your nerves. That's okay. Send it in. I'll editorialize it. I'll create you a page, and you can blog your heart out. You can tell your friends and family, I'm a blogger, because that seems to be a pretty cool thing to be these days. All the cool kids are doing it. Won't you join them? So, with that said, we're going to go to our friends out in Las Vegas, Nevada, Mr. David Williams from PageTrader.com, and Miss Robin Dane, the trading coach. See what's shaking in their neck of the woods. For those of you that don't know how to get to the blog, up here at the top on the navigation pane, you click Emini Radio Blog. What this does is it takes you to a table of contents. If you want to go page by page, the most recent post is always at the very top. Last night I wrote about simplifying your E-mini trading. It's complicated. If you click View Recent Posts, it gives you a little different view in that you're able to see not only last night's post, but if you continue to scroll down, it will walk you right through post after post after post, reaching back years in time. Now, accompanying each blog post will be that day's radio broadcast in the form of a podcast. You can listen off of our site, or you can click this little button, go over to the iTunes, and you can subscribe to the podcast. This means you never miss an episode. It automatically gets downloaded to your iOS device. You can put it on your iPad, your iPhone, your iMac, even your computer. That's right. Those of us who are PC bound, we have access to iTunes. Some people might think, hey, I wish I had an iDevice so I could get that iTunes. If you got a PC, you're welcome to have iTunes. It's a great way to manage and store all of your digital content, from podcasts to music to TV shows and movies. It's an easy-to-use interface. And again, when you subscribe freely to the CFRN podcast, all the recent episodes are at your fingertips. And if you got the iDevice, they're at your fingertips no matter where you happen to be. Standing in line, listen to a podcast. That's how I roll. All right, enough of this and enough of that. We're going to head right on out to Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, don't go away. Don't touch that radio dial because we will be right back.